Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Joe from Boca, and it's my pleasure to welcome you back to the Dr. Joe Show. By way of background, I'm a licensed psychologist here in sunny South Florida, where I've had the pleasure and the privilege of practicing for the past 25 years. Now, truth is, I recently turned 57, so I decided if I was going to have a midlife crisis, it might as well be productive. So I made the decision to launch the Dr. Joe Show so that I would have a forum so that I could bring directly to you some truly amazing people that I've met along the past, let's say 25 years. And I have an incredible guest for you this evening. So let me tell you a little bit about Mr. J. Wray, who you're going to meet. Jay is the president and CEO of LYFE Management Group Incorporated. It is a South Florida business development firm. He has a fascinating background. Jay actually was in teaching for the first 10 years of his career. He was a teacher and administrator for the 4th largest school district in the United States. He was Teacher of the Year. He was nominated and served on the Florida Speakers Bureau back in 1998. He has his own clothing line. He's a motivational speaker. He's in real estate. But what actually attracted me to Jay, and the reason why I wanted you all, if you don't already know him, to meet him, is part of the work that he does with younger people. In fact, he has a talk show that he does called LYFE TV. He was also nominated to one of South Florida's most successful people under age 40. I am still looking for that nomination in the under 60 category. So let me turn off the TV for a sec and bring out Mr. Jay Wray so that you can meet him for yourself. Jay, it's great having you on the show, and thank you so much. It took me a while to get a hold of you because I know you're very, very busy. Now, you heard me tell our audience a little bit about you. You've got an extremely varied background. But before we get into the specifics of what you do, can you just sit back for a second? Tell us, how did you get started? Did you grow up here? And tell us a little bit of your background, please.
Okay, first and foremost, thank you, Dr. Joe, for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for asking, actually, that question. Sometimes we don't take time to find out people's stories.
Absolutely.
And so my story started in Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
And came to the States when I was 5 years old. And loving the States, I grew up around some influential people, first and foremost my parents,
okay,
who are entrepreneurs by blood. They're both retired now, living in the wonderful city of Boca.
Oh, nice, nice.
And as growing up in the public school system, I was able to be around some positive people, and so that's what I've always honed in on, was positivity. And so going through the school system, I had big dreams. When I was in 5th grade, I wanted to be a hospital administrator. We did like a science fair, and I said I wanted to be a hospital administrator. So I noticed that I was always taking leadership roles. And it's funny, out of adversity sometimes greatness happens. So of course, when you're like 11 years old, you want to play football with your older brothers. And they don't allow you. That's adversity to you. But what I turned it into, I got upset, went inside, and my first business started when I was 11 years old.
And you were doing what?
I sold lemonade to my brother's friends because I couldn't play with them. So I said, you know what? Let me go inside. I remember being upset. My mom says, "Don't worry, I'll squish lemonade to myself." I said, "Wait a minute, it's hot outside. Let me turn this into a business." And so then I was making about a quarter a cup. Okay. But it turned into other things. I went to a wonderful school, Palmetto. Went down in Pinecrest, Florida, Palmetto Middle, Palmetto High School, and got a scholarship to FIU, Florida International University. And music is my background. I don't mention that a lot, but I'm a professional musician. Play the saxophone.
And you don't have it here today? It's in the car.
Is it in the car? You know what? It is in the car, actually. Okay. It is in the car. But definitely music is one of my passions. Teaching other people is another passion, so that's why I studied special education at Florida National University. Okay. And so I got on my teaching track. I was young, 22, graduated top of my class. I was happy. I thought it was I was in my life path. Not until there's that burning desire, that 11-year-old kid that was selling lemonade came up and arose in me. And I won Beginning Teacher of the Year for the County Public Schools. And after that, I felt that there was more to accomplish in life. And that's when I stepped out, took a big step, and went into the world of sales. And I worked for New Horizons Computer Learning Center. Well, they should plug me for that one. But definitely, sold computer training to people that wanted a life change. And that taught me a lot. I hung around guys that were twice my age and older. That's when I got into a lot of books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Millionaire's Mind, Millionaire Next Door, all these books I started reading, and that opened my horizons, and the rest was history, into real estate, into a television show that I produced. So it gave me a mind, whatever I can think of, if I can think it, it can happen. And so that's why I'm here today.
And that's what you have brought forward.
Yes.
So in your mind, and your message is, if you can dream it, then you can go ahead. You can go ahead and do it.
Yes.
Okay. The clothing line. You're a sharp-looking individual. What's that all about?
My mom is a designer. She's retired, but she has her own company. And it's funny, not adversity, but out of sometimes trying to do something, things come out. I was shopping in a mall. I won't say any mall since we're not sponsored by that, but I was shopping.
Not yet,
right?
Okay.
Shopping in a mall, and I wanted this khaki suit, like your pants. And there was a khaki jacket, khaki pants. And I was like, wow. So I went to this store that we know, it's a fruit, a yellow fruit, Republic, and so
but we're not going to mention
the name.
Okay.
But I walked in and I tried the pants on, and the pants didn't fit right.
They
didn't fit right, and so I went home. I told my mom. I took a picture of it, and I told my mom, "Listen, I want to design this khaki suit. I want a khaki suit." So we sat there. The production took a long time to design and also get it into fruition. And did that, and what happens is, it's funny, there's two types of things two types of fear of success and fear of failure. And
it's often a toss-up, which is stronger, and it's not always the fear of failure.
You're right.
That's what I find.
I had so doctor, you're good, I had a fear of success. And so at a very young age, I was 24, when Burdines, now that store is called something else, wanted 10,000 articles of clothing, and I got nervous. I didn't want to see my line in the stores and no one buying it. So I didn't know this then, but I was just pulling out, backing off. Deadlines weren't being met. I started weeding.
Wait. Let's slow down, because you know the story. You had an order for 10,000
articles of
clothing. So you had made it.
Yes.
They want you, and you found yourself backpedaling.
Yeah, I backpedaled. Didn't know that. I started missing deadlines. I started making excuses, and not knowing years later that I had a fear of success, because then what if and I get all this money and I get to the top, and then somebody outbeats me, or then are my friends there for me or just for my money? I was thinking those things, so. And
your mom or dad wasn't there to hit you with a stick right over your head when she realized what you were doing?
My mom got on me, and you know what? It was something that I learned a very great lesson in at the age of 24, and from then I never ever let the fear of success control me.
Okay, so when you are counseling folks, because I know you do a lot of business consulting, etc., do you hone in on that? Because you went through that. So if you were consulting with me, trying to blow up my business, etc., what do you look for? What are your cues? Because you'd just be meeting me for the first time. How do you start to pick that up? That's fascinating.
I look at my business as I'm a business doctor. So when you go to the doctor, if you have a pain in your right elbow, and you come in and then you start telling your doctor, hey, listen, I have a pain in my neck here, and it's not really your pain, we're going to prescribe something that's wrong, and you're still going to walk out with your right elbow.
Right.
When I go into a business, I ask them, what's their pain? Usually it's money, but money is never, I would say this, money is not your pain. It's things that you need to acquire and do to get the money. It's probably personnel. It's probably your system structure. So when I find out and hone in on that right elbow system structure, I prescribe something to fix that, hone in on that. Now, you may have other ailments in your business, but we find out what is the core ailment, and then we go from there. So in about 30 minutes, if I talk to you about your business, I can kind of see where you can grow and what areas you can grow in, and we can fill that spot.
And how often, with all the consulting that you do, and I know it's in a variety of fields, how often do you then have to look him or her, whoever you're contracting with, and say, sir, madam, you are actually afraid of succeeding? Because I'm sure people must look at you like you're out of your mind, especially if you brought them in to fix this. So how often does that actually come
That
up?
happens a lot. I have a client now that's a doctor, very successful. When I say successful, went through med school, and they have a lot of clients. They are afraid to hit that next curve over, because they feel that more clients are going to take more of their time. But I have to tell them, I said, listen, that's when you hire the right team to help produce, you know, better results with the clients that you have. And so when I told this young person, instead of gender, I looked him in the face and said, "You're afraid of success, but I've been there before. I know what you feel. When you connect with your client, and then you tell your client, yeah, you had a restaurant that didn't succeed.
Yes.
You had certain things that didn't succeed. I learned more in failure than I've learned in success. And sometimes when you succeed, Doc, you don't know how you got there."
Right, and you just sort of look back.
Yeah,
what happened? Where did it all go?
But when you quote unquote, I say, you know, quote unquote, learn your lesson, you detail and analyze it, and then you grow from there. So I can relate to clients and tell them, listen, I was afraid of success, and also at one point afraid of failure as well.
Okay, and so that's something that you can absolutely hone in on. There's a lot that I want to ask you. We'll take a break for a sec, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here, I have the pleasure of talking with Jay Wray. We're going to come back and talk about what Jay likes to do in terms of giving back, which really attracted Jay to me as I was meeting him. But don't go away, because we're going to put something on now. We're going to take a short break, and you might as well see Jay in action. So let's take a short break.
Yeah, baby, it's DJ Ari, all the way live, official DJ of the Miami Heat, 99 Jams. We hold the city down, just like LYFE TV. You are in tune, baby, shutting them down. LYFE TV, holla.
And now, it's time to bring on your host, the Renaissance man of television. Give it up for Jay Wray!
This is the hardest working man in radio, the fly jock, Tom Jordan. You're watching LYFE TV.
Surprise to you, okay? Let's turn up the surprise. This young man's life. We'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back, everybody, and I'm sure you're still moving. If you stayed in front of your computer instead of running to the refrigerator, you saw Jay in action. I promise you, bigger than life now. We're going to talk about kids. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that attracted Jay to me, or me to Jay, or vice versa, was I saw the work that you do with kids. Before talking specifically about it, I just found a couple of studies, because I like to do a little reading. And I found a study called The Study of Aggression Related to Self-Coping and Self-Appreciation. Not surprisingly, the finding is the higher the self-esteem of the teenagers, the better these kids are able to cope and handle their own aggressive feelings and their own behavior. And also, not surprisingly, in a study called Body Image, Eating Disorders, and Self-Esteem During Adolescence, low self-esteem in adolescence, it places the kids at risk for multiple difficulties, including eating disorders, primarily for young women. You're a leader, you're a young person, you're a leader in the community, you're in education, now you're in consulting, you're in business, you have your own TV show, you have your own clothing line, but I know you started a show for kids. Tell us about that, because I'd love to pick your brain.
Interesting studies. Starting with, I've been a child loving children. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yes, sir.
At a young age, and I have a younger sister that I adore and love to be around. I have 4 beautiful children now that I love and be around. To me, when you give to a child, you're giving to the future. And so I went to school for education, major, and that's never left me. You know, I left the classroom, but the classroom never left me.
Yes, sir.
So that's why every year we do a major campaign for Big Brothers Big Sisters. And also, I'm always around youth teaching. Like, I do career days. I did like 5 career days this year in a row, because I wanted to give back. And your studies are very important. I look at my children as my study group. And,
study group of 4,
right?
So it's significant.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
I look at my eldest daughter, who just turned 13 this past Sunday, and I took her out, and the first thing I did is interesting. I took her to get her hair done, and just teaching her. I know it's supposed to be a mom thing, but
well, not necessarily. I would challenge you that.
Okay, great.
Right,
no, but
right,
I love hanging around with my children, so I took her to get her hair done, and it's interesting. The things that I do with my children is always to build their self-esteem. I tell them they're beautiful. Yesterday we went to South Beach. We walked because my eldest used to model, but I was walking with them and telling them how beautiful they are. And I think it's a direct correlation, because when I deal with kids with big brothers, big sisters, a lot of these children have never been told that they're good, they're successful. We taught 30 young men last year how to tie a tie. And I'll never forget that these kids want to race me. You know, Jay, I can tie faster than you. But I knew that I taught them something that they'll need as young men in the future. But you should have seen them. They felt it was like I gave them $1 million.
Right.
They were just tying a tie, and they wore a tie with a t-shirt the whole day. But their chest was out, and just something as simple as that. So I do believe that the correlation between self-esteem can you know, attribute to a lot of things, but also even eating disorders, HGC or HCG, some, you know, it's a disorder now that's within kids, and I think it can be attributed to their youth and how they're being honed as children.
Okay, so you've got kids, you're into fashion and clothing. It's interesting because in my practice, we have 4 docs who share the space. And one of the doctors, a young female doctor who I truly adore, we have an interesting back and forth because she specializes with a lot of kids and adults with eating disorders, etc. And we had a meeting last week, and her position was, you know, she said, Doc, why do we have People magazine in the waiting room? I mean, we know it's popular, but from every magazine we could pick from, why there? I mean, why put out what is probably not the healthiest image, that if you don't look like this picture. Now, I thought about what she said, and she's a great clinician, but I then said to her, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years, and she sees adults and I see children. I can't count how many times I've been sitting with a young girl, 9, 10, 12, who starts to talk about being heavy, or starts to talk about being fat, or because she doesn't look like the girls in her class who look like this. And I told my colleague, the reason I keep People magazine in there is I get it in, and I say, it's not real. Let's talk about reality. So how do you then take what you're doing, style and fashion, but keep it real? Even for men, not every guy you meet is going to look like you. How do you keep it real for kids?
I would say this, in life you have to look at what you have, what you're dealt with. Like I was talking to some kids, and we all play card games. And so I gave every child a card in the deck. And I said, all my aces, all my ace, kings, queens, you know, the trump cards over here. I wanted all my 10s here and 9s, so I separated them. It was about 400 children. And what I did was I told them, sometime in life you're dealt a hand. But it's what you do with this hand that makes and determine your future. So for example, if some are mesoforps, endoforps, ectoforps, that's, you know, scientific names. Of course, you know, the skinny, the muscle, and some of the a little heavier people. You may be dealt with that body frame or that genealogy, but you need to also eat right, exercise, do the things that will make you healthy, and you'll be surprised by eating. Even if you're an endoform that may be over, you know, large, eating right, exercising, having a healthy mindset. You can, you know, it's nature versus nurture. You know, nurture sometimes can overcome nature. So what I do in my business is I'm not your, you know, I don't make up your chemistry. But I can make up your chemistry of your mind if I tell you, listen, eat right. I mean, I may look slim now, but I lost about 15 pounds. A young lady that was working with me says, Jay, what are you eating? I used to get these bowls and not pour it out. I would just eat from the bowl, and when she poured it out one day, I saw it. And also, she took a picture of me one time from the side. And I was like, wow.
That's me.
And all I did was walk. I started walking, Doc, about 40 minutes every morning. I lost 20 pounds in 2 months.
Just from walking?
Well, of course, eating less, eating less, eating right, and walking. Not doing push-ups, now I'm in the gym. But it gave me a newness and a sense of, wow, I could do this. And so I ate right, I cut down on my calories, cut down my intake, but also walking as well.
I was watching last night the TV show that you do with kids. How'd you come up with the idea? Because it looks like a big party on the screen.
It's weird. One day I woke up and I said, you know what, I want a talk show.
You just woke up?
I was 9 years old. I used to watch Johnny Carson.
Oh, wait, at 9 years old?
No, 9 years old. No. 9 years old, I used to watch Johnny Carson. I used to pretend I was like with your mug there. I used to get a mug and pretend I was Johnny Carson interviewing people. And then my next person I saw on TV was Arsenio Hall. I love this show. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I want to do it. And it's always been in me. And I worked in the media center when I was in college at an elementary school. And I loved it. I loved the behind the scenes, like a producer back there, I love it. And one day I woke up, I said, I want a talk show. So, and I'm gonna tell you this, here's a secret to success. I'm gonna give you, you're gonna hear it here first.
Yes.
Here's a secret to success. You don't have to know everything about what you want to do, but surround yourself with people that know more than you in that field, and that's it. So what I did was I found videographers, editors, director of photography. I went to schools. Where's the best place to find people that know what they're doing? I went to UM. People studying. I went to UM. I went to Miami-Dade. So if you want to start a show, so of course learn about it. Don't get me wrong. I studied, but I surrounded myself with people that knew more than me in that field. So what I would do, I would sit back and learn. And later on, I'll say, by the way, what does that mean? And I would say things, what does that do? What do you mean about 3 cc's? What? Tell me, editing. Why does it take so long to edit an hour worth of film? It takes 3 hours. And the color correction. So I learned from them, but also studied as well. So it started. I got some great people on team. One thing I did, keep it child-centered. So I adopted the elementary school, and they actually built the set, the kids. They were on the cameras,
Wow, I didn't know that when I was watching.
Yeah, they were actually the set you see with the lights and everything. They actually, with the designer, the lead, actually built that set.
Okay. What does the future hold for you?
Ooh. I would say this, based on where I'm at now, I'm thankful to the Creator for having me take one day at a time. Even though I may plan for the future, I live in the moment. Like right now, this morning when I got up, you were my focus.
Yes, sir.
I was going to come here, and next I have something next to do. I hope the future holds. Your producer said something that captivated me. He says, listen, I keep it simple. Basically I don't overpromise or no overdeliver.
Right.
I want to actually walk fully in that, where sometimes I'm not overextended, but I want to learn. I'm going to be 40 in about 3 years. I want to be in a place where I'm living day by day and enjoying the moment. So it's not about the money, it's not about the travel. I want to enjoy every moment of my life and just embrace that.
You spend time with your kids to relax. Yes. What do you do for yourself? Because part of the message, I think, if you're going to run this hard, you have to take time for yourself. So your kids are sleeping, the house is quiet, your phone's off. What do you do for yourself?
I'm smiling. I feel like I'm in a session right now.
Well, I'm going to have to lie down in about 1 sec.
You know what? I smile because I was just asked that question. And the 15th was my daughter's birthday. I was going to Panera Bread to get something to eat, and I saw LA Fitness, so I had a special. And I said, let me walk in. I have not been to the gym in a while. But what do I do for myself now that I've not been doing for the last year? Exercising.
Cool.
I shut off my phone now at night. I take the battery out. Now I do. Just started about 4 days ago.
Because one of your kids said, Dad, that's
it. Actually, Sunday, my
phone.
daughter, that was one of her wishes, that, Dad, you don't use the phone on my birthday.
Okay.
I like to read, travel, but you know what? I like to be around good people. So if it's traveling with good people, talking, discussion with yourself, this is my enjoyment. It may sound weird. Some people need a vacation. I love vacations, but even when I'm on a vacation, I'm not vacationing. If I saw you guys on the beach and you intrigued me and I'm talking to you guys or a group of people, I would talk and interact because I think life's about interaction. So I enjoy reading, enjoy my children greatly and immensely.
Surely. Jay, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
You're larger than life. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for sharing the encouragement. Everybody you saw on that break we took, you saw Jay in action, so you can get a hold of him, etc. We're gonna make sure your information is up there. Folks, next week I have a special guest, Mr. Phil Mims, who is the president of the Essentials Corporation, is going to be here, so I can share Phil's story with you. And again, Jay, thank you so much, folks. Thanks for watching the Dr. Joe Show, and we'll be with you next week. Take care, everyone.
Tune in to Unison.
It's just a little more time, it's just a little more faith until your heart feels something.
Keep it locked on LYFE TV and we'll bring it to you.
That little Chico Pitbull, we watching LYFE TV, you know what it is.
8 and 1, 2, 3.
It's unbelievable, man. Year in, year out, it just get better and better.
Miami they're contenders now. We are contenders.
So you enjoying the weather down here?
Yes, it's Miami. Beautiful.
How you doing?
Great, Jay. How are you? Welcome to my office.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down.
Hi, I'm Rosette Michelle, and you're watching LYFE TV.
Party Beers, Tito Puente Jr., you're watching LYFE TV. Azuga!
Look at me. Don't pay attention to the camera. Get nervous and then start.
Hey, LYFE TV.
Them dancing style. Come we show them fi do the no linger. Sweep your foot to the right and snap your finger.
LYFE TV, we are here live at the MIA Miami. Represent Michelle.
Sometimes it ain't. Sometimes it hurts to know the river you have to slow and take her up. Come on.
Thanks for singing one of my favorite songs. Blame It On Me. We had a great shoot. Of course, the day was very coordinated event side. Kind of threw off, well, not kind of, majorly threw off our production.
Vibing with each other. I think me and Daryl really killed it tonight, to be honest. Power.
Man, Layla, we're here at the Make It Hot Celebrity Weekend.
That's what this weekend consists of.
Out here, Warren Sapp, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
Now, I'm gonna let Layla do this interview because she looks better than me.
So, standing here for
So you think you're going to make a hole-in-one today?
no.
For instance, Warren, just say you didn't become an NFL player, or what do you think, what kind of career do you think you would have chosen?
Probably a police officer.
So anyway, Warren, we're going to let you get back to your golf game, and I know you're going to be great.
3-course meal, spaghetti, fettuccine, and veal.
Jay, I can't wait to see when Jay goes up, because I know he's not going to make it.
Watch this, a week left. I've got their LYFE TV.
Kevin Hart, a.k.a. K.
LYFE TV right there. What up, y'all?
Y'all for LYFE TV, let's go.
LYFE TV.
What up, y'all? It's Jermaine DeForest, LYFE TV. LYFE TV.
Oh my gosh.
Baby, let me